Hi everyone, how's it going? First of all, sorry, I've been 3 months without posting any video, and now I have a little bit more time to post them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to post a lot of videos, but I will try to do at least once a week. Uh, Kind of gonna be sporadically at the moment because I still fixing up everything on my calendar. So for those who don't know, I just moved to a new house and I got a baby. I have to take care of the baby as well. So this is one of the reasons I not been posting any videos, and as well I changed jobs too. So there's a lot of things going on, and I feel like I needed to step back a little bit from the YouTube content creation. But now I think I'm back and I can actually start talking a little bit about some things. So one of the things today I wanted to talk about is actually about Twitter, and was pretty interesting to see that a lot of people, even on tech community, they didn't understand what's going on and what the change of functionality means. So let's go back here and let's talk about it. So Twitter engineer, they post that soon they will change how the block function works. And if you post as set to public, accounts you have blocked will be able to view them, but they will not be able to engage, like reply, repost, etc. And one of the reasons they put this out there is because, yeah, block can be used by users to share and hide harmful private information about those they have blocked. Users will be able to see if such behavior occurs with this update, allowing for greater transparency. I don't see this as a greater transparency at all. I think there is another hidden reason inside that because one of the things Elon Musk when he bought Twitter, right? So like when he decided to go after and spend loads of money on buying Twitter, one of the things was a contingency when he was buying was about the fake accounts and bots. So he was very concerned about what is actually the amount of active users that actually are real humans using the platform, and this was one of the things that were something that they have to tackle. And I feel one of the reasons that there is a lot of users on Twitter is that when people block you can actually create a proxy account and then continue see what their users content is being created. So that's not something that blocking having so a lot of people saying that block actually gonna make easier for stalkers, but stalkers have been using these for a long time. So they've been creating proxy accounts. They create not just one, they create loads of accounts that can continue to view your content. So like if you have a stalker, uh blocking not gonna stop them. So this is like one of the things that people say, "Oh, that's not great because of that. That's not an issue. That's not actually something that solved that issue." And second, I don't see anyone that claim to actually this be a problem. Like no one say that the block functionality was a problem. So there is a few for me. The hidden motive is one to attack real users and second security as well. And of course, like firmware control, you can see your or over who can see your post. You can still protect your account following this step. So you can still set the post to protect it, and people who you block not gonna see this anymore. Even though they can see, they're not be able to engage. But then I can. The funny part is news outlets like the Zerto, they start posting this that actually Apple and Google, it removal the blocking feature will be a violation of Google and App terms of service. First of all, that the block button is not going to be removed. It's just going to change the functionality itself. It's going to be you're still going to be able to block people as per what Twitter engineering was saying. And second, they didn't even read the terms of service to understand what the terms of service are talking about. And I gone through the terms of service itself, and you guys can see it because it's so weird that they actually pick up a small phrase and thinking this actually it's something that is actually true. And actually they hidden one the other information, and I gotta show it to you guys how crazy was that the certain made this post and they make this claim. So let's go first for the Apple Store. So Apple Store, they have one of the terms of service about user generated content. If you don't know, this terms of service is more when it's more used when a company is applying for the application or version of the application to go live on App Store. So like when you create an update, they have to follow certain rules. And if you have set your app have user generated content, posts, images, and everything, you have to follow this set of rules. So these terms of services is not talking about moderation inside the platform. Uh, it's talking about how the platform can moderate the content. So let's see here. So the ability to block abusive users from the service is not a user blocking another user. Is the company, is the service provider X on this case to be able to block abusive users. And this exists because Apple doesn't want to be liable when a social media platform or any other user-generated content are being solicited for like countries and governments to remove content, and these companies they don't want to, and they don't want to be the liability here. They're not going to be liable for these companies, and they wanted to be able to remove them for the App Store if these countries and the governments go after them. So, for example, in Brazil now, you have the ultimate case in the last 2 months. X was blocked by the Supreme Court, and if the Supreme Court wouldn't be able to block them, like to be accessible from the internet by the internet providers, the country itself could go after Apple and say, "Look, we're gonna actually make a fee against you because you are allowing this app on a Brazilian iPhone." And then they say, "Okay, but you have this rule here, so it's just gonna remove X from the platform." And then this is going to make them and going to make X not liable to them, and then they will be safe in the unsafe mode. And all of these mechanisms actually are reached when you are applying. So Apple they just review these when you're applying for a new version. If you have a feature flag inside your application, you actually this change is not going to throw you outside the platform, only if you are reported, and even though they have to go through manual review. So this doesn't concern X on Apple. So like on iOS, you're going to be able to get the new functionality, the block button. On Google, is a little bit different because Google actually say that features that enable one-to-one user interaction with specific users. For example, direct messaging, tagging, and mentioning. So they must provide in-app functionality for blocking users. So point is now then that Google say that you have this feature. You have to have this feature. You have to have this feature that you can block the other user. And the block be the interaction with one user to another with the example which is direct messaging, tagging, and mentioning. So the blocking is you have to provide a feature that a user don't want the other user to be interacting with them. So this actually is already covered on the change of functionality. So that's why for me, when the Certo and these are the news platforms, I don't say that the Certo is just the one I'm picking up right now, but they're not the only ones who did that. They are like they're picking up like some choices of the terms of services and cherry picking some pieces of terms of service that actually doesn't justify what they're saying. They're saying that violates Apple and Google's apps, may violate Apple and Google App Store because they even don't know it's actually violates. And of course, will be like for clickbait and everything, but the text itself is pretty awful. And I feel like that companies and even high profile like influencers like Jerry Rig, everything. That's one of the guys I like and I watch all the time. They're saying that this is actually an a abuse of terms of service, which is not. So Twitter now X or Twitter nowadays, they actually make some these changes they want to see for transparency. But this is my ultimate take on it. Change the blocking feature, not gonna taking the block functionality, not gonna change how the application works. So I don't see any reason they decide to do that. Because, for example, if it was for Elon Musk, he's the owner of the thing. So he can actually create some sort of like feature flag that he could see everything that he wants. And I feel like that some fundamentals or principles that Elon Musk have to put on wants to put on X that he wanted to spread and influence on social media, other social media platforms. And this has been happening. So, for example, the launch of the premium version of X actually make other social media applications to go for premium versions as well. So, for example, Instagram now you have a paid version. So that's something that it's very Elon Musk is very in the forefront on social media changes and the way that social media are interacting with users, and you can see that's happening. You have seen changes happening in other social media platforms, and this being that's being pushed by X. And I think that's my take on it, and I feel like that's something that it's really crazy to think about it because there was there's no reason. There's no reason. Right. Okay. That's for today, guys. And thank you very much for watching. And if you like, click the like button. Please subscribe because I have only 300 subscribers. It's a lot of people. If you think about it, I didn't have anything like 3 years ago, and it's been pretty nice to see the support and see people liking and commenting. So please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below what you think about it. And yes, this is Yup, yeah, review.